Alright, so now we'll take a look at how to use this radio with Open TX Firmware with a simulator on the computer. So that way you can practice and have fun. So firstly, I would suggest you create a new model for your simulator. Or if you want, you can use your default model as well. So I have created a new model for simulator. So I'll enter the model setup and turn off internal and external RF module if you have them turned on. So once you turn off the module, you will save the battery and you can keep the radio running for longer duration. And then in the mixer page, you will have to assign the controls that you want to use in the simulator software. And this is the main stage of the entire process. So for example, the first 4 channels are my gimbals and they're set in the order as AETR, so aileron, elevator, throttle and rudder. So those are the first 4 channels which we will use to control the quad or aircraft. And then we have channel 5 and 6. Now currently there's a problem where channel 5 and 6 are not detected in the computer for some reason. So I'll delete channel 5 and 6. So with the first 4 channels assigned to the gimbals, we can use 2 more channels, specifically the channel 7 and 8 for a switch or a port. So I'll use switch A for channel 7 and for channel 8 I'll use switch C. If you want, you can use any other switch or even the port. And like I said, channel 5 and 6 are not working at this moment, but I'm sure it'll be fixed in the next firmware. So that way we can use additional 2 more channels. So in total you can use 8 channels. So once you set up all the channels in the mixer page that you want to use, go to the radio setup, and if you want to save the battery even more, I would suggest you set the backlight to keys so that when you're operating the radio in the simulator, in which case you will mostly be using the gimbals and the switches, your backlight will be off and it won't turn on, so that way you can save some battery as well. So set this to keys, and if you want you can adjust the duration, but this is the main part. So if you want, you can set USB mode to joystick, and then if you select once, then connect the PS2 connector at the back. So now the radio is in joystick mode, or if you want, you can set this to ask and then select joystick, and make sure that you have plugged in the USB cable at the back. And now let's take a look at the settings that we have to make in the computer. So before I connect the USB cable to the computer, I'll go to USB game controller, and now I'll connect the USB cable to my computer. And as soon as I connect it, I can see 8-axis 16 button device has been detected, and that's this radio transmitter. So at this stage, once you connect the radio transmitter, you should be able to see the device displayed over here. And when setting up the radio for the first time in the computer, we will have to calibrate the gimbals. So for that, I'll click on properties, and here if I move the gimbals, you can see that it's reflected in the computer. And like I said, channel 5 and 6 are not working at the moment. So here you can see that I have switch B and D for channel 5 and 6, but it's not working in the computer. So whichever switch or port you want to use, make sure that you use it on channel 7 and 8. But once this issue is fixed in the future updates, we will be able to use all the aux switches, so that's not a problem as such. So to calibrate, I'll click on settings, and then click on Calibrate, select Next, and then center the gimbals, and then click on Next, and then move the right stick in all the directions, and then move the left stick, which is the throttle, X rotation is not detected, so I'll skip this. And we have the Y rotation, which is for the yaw. Then in the slider I have switch C, which is a 3-position switch. And once I click on finish, the gimbals are now calibrated in the computer. And don't forget to click on apply and then click on OK. Now let's say if your radio is not displayed in the USB game controller, then that's most likely due to the wrong drivers that are installed in the computer. So first you'll have to install the correct drivers for the radio transmitter. And from what I've figured out is, if we go to the radio setup and select the USB detect option, we can see that the USB joystick mode is displayed as a HID device, and that's basically a human interface device. So once we enable the USB joystick mode in the radio transmitter, we should be able to see the radio transmitter in the human interface device category. So currently my radio is connected to the computer and it's in the USB joystick mode, but I'm not able to see it in this category over here, and that is because I have purposely installed the wrong drivers just to show you how to install the correct ones. So here we can see that under the LIB USB Win32 device we have FSI6X joystick radio transmitter that's displayed, and the radio should be displayed somewhere inside the human interface device section. So let's fix that. So I'll right click on the radio transmitter and click on update driver, and then select browse my computer for drivers, and then select let me pick from a list of available drivers on my computer. And here I have 3 drivers that are displayed. The correct one is the USB input device, so I'll select this and click on next. And straight away Windows has successfully installed the correct drivers. So now if I select action and select scan for hardware changes, okay, so because of the exclamation mark we see over here, I think the radio transmitter has to be restarted. Okay, so there is an unknown USB device that's detected under the human interface device, and I'm pretty sure that's the radio transmitter. So I'll right click the device again and click on update driver, and I'll select browse my computer for drivers, and then same as before click on let me pick from a list of available drivers. Okay, so we have code 10 error, and this is what some of the users have reported on the Telegram group of the Open TX firmware. So if we get this error, just click on close and reconnect the radio transmitter. So turn off and then turn on again, and then initiate the joystick mode. And now the radio should be automatically detected as a HID compliant game controller under the human interface device category. And now the radio is displayed once again in the USB game controller settings. So it's most likely due to the drivers which are not installed correctly. And now let's launch a simulator software. So I have Velocidrone, so I'll launch that. So once I'm in Velocidrone, the first thing that I'll make sure is to calibrate the radio in the software as well. So I'll click on the controller settings. If you are using any other simulator like Liftoff, RC Simulator or RC Plane, then you'll have to calibrate the radio in the program as well. So I've already calibrated my radio in Velocidrone, but I'll do that once again. So I'll click on reset, and now if I move the sticks, you can see that the preview of the quad is not moving anymore. I'll click on assign controller and I'll move the sticks, and then I'll click on assign sticks and then follow the instructions on the screen. Center the sticks and then follow the sticks as displayed on the screen. So now I have to move the roll stick, so I'll do that. Then the pitch stick, yaw and throttle. So now the preview of the quad is moving. So if I yaw, the preview also is moving in the yaw direction. Pitch and roll. So throttle seems to be reversed, so I can invert that. So when I move the throttle stick, you can see that the channel value over here is moving up and down. So I'll double click on that, and here if I want, I can calibrate the stick separately, and then we have the option to invert. So I have to set the stick all the way up and then click on invert in order to set it right. Alright, so now the radio has been set up in the software correctly. So I'll go back, and here I can simply click on start, and now let's fly. So this is how you use the joystick feature with Open TX Firmware on the Flysky FSI6X Radio Transmitter. Now stay tuned for the next video, as I will show you another way through which you can access all the switches on the radio transmitter, and you won't have to even use the trainer cable in order to use the simulator feature. If you found this video helpful, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel. And like always, thanks a lot for watching.